Alright guys, thanks for tuning in iCupTV. It'll be your epic and awesome and fun caster Fitz here. Now this replay comes to us from iCup Clan League Season 20, Week number 3, Division B1, I believe. No, this is Disturbed Minds Division A, and it's going to be between Sass versus Disturbed Minds. Now spawning in the top right, it'll be Sass's LocDog, and then spawning in the bottom left, it'll be Disturbed Minds Megamash. Now, if you guys are tuning in the first cast, you guys should know, spoiler alert, that Megamash did ultimately lose because, just trying to remember the guy's name right here, because Megamash went for a super delayed Hydra bust that ultimately just got countered. So we'll see if this is going to be able to get countered again, and see if there'll be a game number 3. If not, if we're going to see a nice fast storm coming out of LocDog here. So LocDog played it pretty well last game and got around 6 High Templar, and pretty much ultimately won the game. Now the map is Fighting Spirit. It is cross position, so Hydra Bust is going to be a little bit harder to do. Any kind of early push is going to be pretty hard to do just because the distance is so long. Now, if you guys didn't know, Fighting Spirit has a pretty big main. You have one ramp going to the natural. There are no back doors. Now, there's theoretically only one opening to the base. I just want to clarify this. There's one main ramp that can go into your natural, but there is like another entrance back to your third that allows you to get in here, which you can go up and down here, but oftentimes that's never really utilized because a third's there and is often walled off. And for early game use, it's never really used. But I'm just sure I wanted to point that out there. Otherwise, nothing out of the ordinary. Probably Forge, Fast Expand. Now, depending on what depending on what LocDog wants to go, most likely they'll probably be going some sort of one gate. Probably with plus one gate. Probably one gate. Well, he's gonna need to get one gateway anyway. Probably getting +1 Zealot with Corsair. And depending on that, what he sees, depending on what Megamash decides to go, we'll decide if we have Fast Templar Archives, depending on what it does. Because I believe, because we're seeing a 2-base, and since we're seeing a 2-base Protoss, you're most likely going to see them wanting to try to counter whatever the Zerg's going. Because I mean, unless they have one preset function that the Protoss really wants to go, in a way, it just somewhat hurts them because if the Zerg all of a sudden starts to hard counter them, then what can they do? So the best thing for the Protoss to do is just react to what the Zerg's doing. If they're going Mass Lane, go Archon. If they're going Hydra Bust, you get a lot of High Templar and you get Storm early on. If they're going Muta, you get maybe some Archon. Maybe you go for Fast Templar Archives. You could even go something baller by going Fast Templar Archives with Maelstrom, and then getting Archon. But that's super gas dependent. You probably could do it off of one base, or the more traditional going up to +1 Corsair if they're going mass Muta. So depending on what your player's doing, it just tends to be how it goes. Now, Zergers get to retake their third, which is their risky third is what I've always called it, just because it's so far off, hard to do anything. But because of the like 8 initial links, it's sometimes hard for Protoss to break out, and it will just often give enough time for the Zerg to react. Now, I'm interested. This wall off, I mean, if there was to be a Ling bust, which there could possibly be, if speed was to be an option, I believe, I mean, there could be just a huge amount of Lings that could just run in here and just maybe potentially end the game right here just because the opening is so open. Not that this isn't a tight wall off per se, but I mean, a lot of Lings could get completely around that wall off, which is just potential. We could see that, we may not see it, but it's just something to raise concern about. Now that Overlord will eventually make their way into the base here. Now, what is going to be the tech choice here? Cybercore is going down. Standard stuff. I mean, 4-minute Cybercore tends to be somewhat standard. Or 350 would probably be when it goes down when you're going a Forge Fast Expand. But what have you. Now, I'd assume, because he's putting down a macro hatch on the natural, and most likely probably another macro hatch on the risky third, to not only set up A, Sin City, B, getting extra larva, and Protoss did scout that off, thankfully, for himself, so he does exactly pretty much knows what's going on. So we probably will be seeing Hydra potentially coming up, especially since we don't see Lair coming up anytime soon. And we'd be surprised if this guy morphs a hatchery eventually coming up there. And it does have a couple of the Zealots, so maybe this wall off will eventually hold off right now. But if all someone decided to go Ling all in, that would be pretty bad. Oh, but there's gonna be a Zealot here, kind of interesting why he'd go to the natural, but might be able to get a couple probe kills there. I mean, drone kills right there, and that from LocDog is just throwing it a little off right there, playing some mind games. Oh, will he get it? He's not paying attention. He could drill right now, potentially just end this right now, but he will just be transferring those out. He will be sending those links back right here, but didn't even leave a single one just to know when he's moving out. And now this now the natural's actually susceptible here, and that's the benefit. I mean, he was able to make this the natural so prone, giving him enough time to get into the third. And this is just really going to stall for time, allowing him to get up his Stargate, allowing him to get up the Fast Templar Archives, because it's exactly what he's going to want to do. He's going to be seeing that hydrogen coming down eventually, not even mining on the natural. Really starting to hinder Megamash's multitasking ability here. And, I mean, these Zealots, they're just so beefy, they're just not dying, and now the problem is, we don't even see a Hydra Den. And this is looking very bad. I mean, he's trying to go more Ling, but the best option for him to go, there we go, he's finally seeing the Hydra Den, but I think this base might just be gone at this point. He needs to get some kind of Evo chamber up, as the Hydras are not going to be available after the next 35 seconds or what have you. Overlord's finally going, Finally, the Zealot goes down behind the mineral line, but we're seeing 34 supply to 49. Protoss is just looking so strong right now. Getting that +1 like I was talking about. Is he even getting +1 area? He's committing to these Corsair because he realizes those Hydra aren't going to come out for any time soon, especially with this Corsair going to continue to supply block him. It's just going to make it impossible for any kind of Hydra to come out. Did queue up around 4, I believe 5 Hydra, but I mean with +1 he's going to be able to just go in there and just do hit and run tactics all day, every day, until the Zerg can really do something. I mean, Zerg's finally starting to regain their control, but I mean, he's taken so much loss right here. And the best thing for Zerg to probably do is not even go attack the front door. But just stall their third, just stall LocDog's third. That's the best thing he could do at this point in time, because it's just too late. Storm's going to be up. Storm, I think, is even done at this point, if not ready. But, I mean, Storm will be available, and there's really no point to engage right now. He needs to play somewhat defensive. He could play 4-base Turtle Zerg. I haven't seen it nearly as much. I've seen it. I mean, Halkelbeast used to say it a lot in his cast, and I mean, I'm not to say that it's not a strategy that happens. It's just I rarely see it. But we'll see if it happens. I don't think we'll be seeing it this game. It looks like he's primarily going Hydra, but I mean, this is the scenario where he could potentially try to throw off his opponent right here, try to go tech switch into Muta. Might be his best option, but I mean, then keep in mind he does have +1 Corsair that are just chilling in the back of the base. So Zerg needs to do something fancy. The best bet is probably to go up to, well, first off, going into Lair. And then I think he should just rush Lair. I mean, the best thing he can do is start getting Dark Swarm, or rather Plague Goo, and just hope for the best here. That's what he needs to do, and that's really all he can do. I mean, he's too far behind. Protoss has too much tech to stop any kind of Tier 1, Tier 2 units, because Dark Swarm, I mean, you need that Plague Goo, and you need potential Dark Swarm. You don't really see it really all that often in TVZ, but it is potential. And, I mean, as long as LocDog's sitting off a 2-base, he's getting the right composition to counter, pretty much hard counter what the Zerg's doing. And that's exactly what I was talking about at the beginning of the cast here, is that the Protoss needs to be able to determine what the Zerg's going, and figure out how to hard counter it. That's exactly what he's doing. The Corsair, which are moving out right now with +1, with Zealots, I mean, there's nothing he can do. He's going to be able to snipe off the Overlords instantaneously with the amount of Corsair he has, because he's over 5. He has the magic number. Scourge are no longer to do anything. We don't even see a Spire coming out. We're getting Overlord speed. So delayed. And here we go. This third's probably going to go down. I mean, I don't see how it could survive. There's only one sunken. And, I mean, at the cost, he might lose 1 or 2 Corsair, but he's completely decimated the mineral, supply count. And Zealots are going to be trying to go, making their way in here. Knight's trying to just stall for time with the drones right there, allowing the Sunken to do as much possible damage. Somehow doing a fairly effective job right here, but of course they're going to be making their way the main 2 Megamash's base here. And what's the status of the third? It looks like it will finally go down. Tried to hold on for as long as it could, but I mean, this third, I mean, it has paid for itself. I mean, it has gone around 100 or 200 minerals per thing, but we're seeing 53 supply to 53 supply. He can't do anything. These are all overlords, and they're all going to die. There's literally nothing he could do at this scenario. And I think, again, I was just trying to remember the clan name. And again, we're just seeing that SAS clan is living up to their name. I mean, we saw from SAS's, oh man, what was the guy's name? SAS's, Slime. I mean, he just really, really well played, very knew what to do. I mean, other than his game 3, I mean, we're just seeing very high level coming out of SAS here. And, I mean, not to say that Disturbed Minds is a terrible team. I mean, they're generic. I mean, they're not going to be super high level. But, I mean, when you're comparing them to, I guess, a clan like SAS, it's ridiculous. SAS is just dominating. And keep in mind, I mean, Protoss has been off of 2 base consistently, has been on Total War mode consistently, but still getting tech somehow. And, I mean, it's kind of amazing what a 2-base Protoss can do against a Zerg here. I mean, he's yet to even take his base here. 113 supply to 63. I mean, Zerg's going to try to crawl his way back in this. I mean, he still can long-distance mine if he needs to from the space. But keep in mind, though, I mean, Zerg has to sit off a 2-base here. Hasn't been able to get off that layer that he crucially needs. He needs to be able to do something. Best option, I mean, I don't even know. I mean, the one counter he could go against these never-ending Corsair is to go Devourer, but, I mean, keep in mind, Devourer is a very high up attack tree. You need Hive, you need Spire, you need Greater Spire. Not to mention you need Muta, and then morph those into Devourers, and oh no, this is looking really bad. All these Overlords are so susceptible. Look how fast they melt. Oh my goodness, they're doing 7 damage per shot. They're taking a lot of hits from the Hydra, but I mean, nice micro, and not really going to lose them. Is he continuing to produce them? No, he is not. He's just getting high Dragoon numbers right here, and we're just going to see this major army, back at LocDog's base here, and it's just going to spiral into, another late game battle that Amir would say. But, I mean, that's not going to happen this game, as the late game battle is going to be Dragoon Storm versus Mass Hydra. Who's going to win that fight? Do the math. Protoss is going to completely dominate that. I mean, Storm just hard counters Hydra anyway because they clump up. It's hard to Storm dodge regardless. And from that, I mean, even if he could Storm dodge, I mean, he still has range Dragoons doing damage. I mean, he has +1, if not +2. +2 should be finishing right now. So, nice timing push for that. And, it's only been 13 minutes in the game. Going to be claiming his third. Getting a couple of cans here. We'll be trying to do a Hydra counter push right here. But just look at the map presence of the Protoss. Look at the map presence of LocDog. LocDog has played this so well. His ZVP has been absolutely outstanding. And we're finally seeing that third base, but I mean, this is exactly what should happen, I feel like, in a lot of ZVPs, is when Zerg goes for these hard counters, this counter here, this really expensive, really risky base here, you easily punish it and just go Mass Corsair with +1, and we're just seeing this +1 Corsair doing so much damage, but losing all of them, storming in that Sim City, like we saw in that first game between the first game of the series, that SimCity actually hurts Megamash in a way because it just allows the Hydra to clump up more. Hydra coming from the south side, but completely getting decimated at the same time right here. It looks like the third will be going down finally. I mean, it looks like he'll be safe for right now though, as he does not have enough storms and he doesn't have detection out. And I'm just looking, and I don't believe he does have observers out. They're all queued, but no observer speed. That's always an upgrade that I like to go. Now, we will be seeing Megamash going for a fourth base right here. But, I mean, it's just the map presence of Protoss is so amazing. 152 supply to 84. And then keep in mind, if all the Corsair have to do is just continuously go and define these hot pursuit areas, these high population counts of overlords, in the supply count, and then just kill them all off, and then Zerg can't resupply. I mean, 54 supply to 159. I mean, there's a GG, and I mean, well played by both players here, but we just saw Disturbed Minds, Megamash completely get outplayed both these games. Now, I'm not going to go say Megamash is a terrible player, but we just did see a significant, play difference right here. We just saw such an outstanding play from LocDog both games here. He's a very, I mean, of what I could say from LocDog, of not paying attention to a lot of the ISL lately. I'm not sure if he's in the ISL, which is ISO tends to be the biggest tournament that there is out there. But the fact of the matter is that LocDog is a very, very well-rounded player in ZVP, and I love how he played it out, and I'm just surprised just meta ZVP hasn't adapted. I mean, Zerg will often go for this 3-base Hydra timing push here, and then get down hatcheries 4 and 5. But the problem is, it's so susceptible just to like 4 or 5 zealots just running out there and just doing so much damage. I mean, you don't even need that much micro. Literally, you do the regular opening, forge fast expand. You send a zealot over to the natural of the base, the natural of the main base, forcing the lings that were keeping the Protoss contained to go back, and then he sent down two more zealots over to the over to the third base, excuse me, and did some literally did so much economic damage it wasn't even funny. And then from there, just buying them enough time. Now keeping all this happening while macroing is hard, but literally all you have to do is like auto attack your zealots just to do stuff and just put them in a better position around the mineral line. It's really not going to be that hard. In a way, it just seems not that doesn't seem that incomprehensible to do this kind of thing. And I'm just surprised we don't see it that more often. And if getting that +1 Corsair, stockpiling 7 of them, the sweet number. I'd say 7 is the sweet number for this matchup, because you can go in there, rape all the overlords and make them gush into pieces, and then it'll blow up and what have you. And then what can the Zerg do? They can't produce anything. I mean, and that's the problem. It's what he went was such a hard counter to what the generic meta was, and he completely metagamed what Megamash was doing. Megamash was trying to go for standard play, and he just got out metagamed, and that's pretty much what we saw here. Guys, thanks for watching iCup TV, and this concludes the series number 4, I believe, which means SAS did win this series. Guys, thanks for watching, and have a great day, guys. Peace.